The line from Boruto's Flash Forward, where he questions Kawaki if this was the only possible outcome, had just got a literal meaning. The reveal of multiple alternate realities, the birth of a new enemy, a tricky lore about Shibai's powers, and his involvement in the story. Chapter 13 of Two Blue Vortex has unveiled it all, and now we have a lot of interesting stuff to decipher. By the end of this video, you will learn how Boruto might be unlocking the Jougan in a very unexpected way, since it has been almost confirmed that the Boruto multiverse is real, and some unimaginable possibilities are on their way. Starting from the chapter cover, we can see Boruto on a purple color palette, but there's a deeper symbolism involved here that many of you may have missed. In Japanese culture, the color purple stands for spirituality and the sacred. It is often seen in the robes of Buddhist monks, particularly those of high rank, symbolizing enlightenment, wisdom, and a connection to the divine. Now, Boruto wearing purple attire can be correlated to the line of Jura, where he calls him a lucky boy, as if the heavens wanted him to live longer. The word heavens here could refer to many things, and it's no surprise that it may be a reference to Shibai or Suzuki. That's right, the god of Suzuki himself wants Boruto to not die, which is why his fate underwent so many interesting twists and turns. Momoshiki's statement on Boruto's fate was indeed true, as he's certainly burdened with an interesting destiny, and this chapter adds a lot of sense to his assertions. He wasn't fooling around when he made Boruto his vessel. He knew exactly what he was doing by implanting a karma on the boy who was protected by the heavens. As we dive into this chapter, it opens from the last cliffhanger with Jura submitting his final condolences. But just when the Shinju was about to kill Boruto, the bug Shinju popped out of his claw mark and starts telling him about Boruto's ally, which is very likely Kashin Koji. He then continues to tell something to Jura, which is kept hidden to the audience, and this information or bug makes Jura change his mind, as he cannot risk the enemy taking an upper hand, so he quietly returns to their hiding place after commenting on the heavenly luck of Boruto. For those of you thinking what in the world was revealed to Jura, which yet again changed the fate of the protagonist, well, hold on for a minute, as all of this will make sense at the end. We are then transitioned to the past, where Boruto can be seen in the Hidden Stones village, hiding from the shinobis who are desperately after his life. This reflects how he turned into a poor refugee after the passing of his master. Even after learning everything Sasuke taught him, he still wasn't ruthless enough to kill a bunch of deadly ninjas who were assigned to exterminate him. It would have been against his morals, and maybe he survived most of his time skip life like this. Suddenly, the toad of Kashin Koji appears and starts telling Boruto to show some trust on him, as he is obviously not his enemy, otherwise he would have reported his location to the 20 assassins. The toad then tells Boruto to touch his back, and suddenly he finds himself at an unknown place. Kashin Koji appears and asks the prodigy if he remembers this mask, to which Boruto responds in a shocking manner. He can't believe it's the same person who once killed Ao and tried to kill his sensei Konohamaru as well. Koji also introduces himself as a cyborg created by Amaro, and then the real mess begins. He questions Boruto his identity by asking him whether he was an Uzumaki from birth or not. This is a clear indication that Koji was also affected by the spell of Omnipotence, and what gets revealed after this is completely mind-blowing. Well, if you are enjoying the video and still haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, cause I'm about to bring some even more amazing Boruto content really soon. So after being questioned on his Uzumaki identity, Boruto realized that Koji may also be under the spell of Omnipotence, which is no surprise. The cyborg insisted him to answer honestly on his identity, which leaves Boruto confused, and he asks him about Omnipotence. Koji acknowledged this word and started describing Boruto the same way he would describe Kawaki, a vessel from Kara who was used for experiments but was able to escape thanks to Amado. This pretty much confirmed to Boruto that Koji is also under the divine spell. However, just at this point, the cyborg says something really bizarre and self-contradictory. He tells Boruto that he doesn't know about Omnipotence, but he's surely aware of its consequences. The day it happened, Boruto got chased out of the village, and it appears that everyone's memory of him and Kawaki has been altered. Now, this was a shocking revelation, not just to Boruto, but the audience as well. If Koji exactly understands the situation of Boruto, how come he's not immune to the spell? Well, things take an even interesting turn when the cyborg gets questioned the same. Kashin Koji says that he knew it's going to happen, as he knew everything in advance. This foreknowledge of the cyborg confused Boruto, as there is no way he should have known this. We then see Koji apologizing Boruto for the time when he had to fight him, saying he was under the pressure of his mission and everything was set up to outwit Ishiki. Boruto understands Koji's place and starts explaining how his situation is worse, as there is no way for him to express what he's going through. We are then taken to the most interesting part, with Koji explaining how he was expecting to die against Ishiki, and he had even accepted his fate with no regrets. mess, cause his mission was officially over. But right at that moment, Koji had multiple visions of the future, where he not just saw the current timeline, but also the alternate realities that were somehow changed by fate. Now you may be wondering how he unlocked this power and what did he saw. Well, the chapter takes us back to the time when Amado was experimenting with the remains of Shibai. It has been confirmed that all members of Kara organization were modified by the godly remains. However, whether someone would unlock the Shinjutsu or not was totally based on luck. Koji, Boru and Delta never unlocked the Shinjutsu even after getting modified by Shibai's cells. But Code unlocked the claw marks, Aida got her hands on Omnipotence, and Demon's reflection power all come under the Shinjutsu that were once used by Shibai himself. Now as for how Kashin Koji unlocked this foresight power, he says that when he was on the verge of death against Ishiki, something triggered in him, an ability that he calls the 10 dimensions. It's a power which allows him to see all the possible futures, and then the foreknowledge can let him prevent the worst one. The futures that were successfully avoided includes the one where Naruto dies against Ishiki and Kawaki was turned into his vessel, which brought a catastrophe on the planet after the cultivation of the divine tree. Another scenario that was miraculously avoided takes us back to this mysterious panel of chapter 75. Many people were confused when this panel of Kawaki looking down on someone didn't come true, but now we have an explanation for that. Apparently, if Sarada had not intervened in Boruto's fight against Kawaki, the young lord was supposed to die, explaining the origins of this scene. This would have been a future without Omnipotence, and according to Koji, Kawaki would have been hunted down by Code, who would have sacrificed him to the 10 tails. Yet another time driving everyone into a world-ending scenario. But surprisingly enough, nothing like that happened. Omnipotence occurred, which was also foreseen by Koji, and Boruto was able to safely escape the village. So we can say that Sarada did change Boruto's fate, not once but twice. First she prevented Kawaki from killing him by buying Sasuke and the others some time, and then she convinced her father that Boruto is innocent, which is how his life got saved for a second time. Koji then explains his power of 10 directions further. He describes it as the power to see all the possible futures, and it also gets revealed that someone's fate is not a straight linear path. Instead, the stories carefully branch out at crossroads where selection happens. In other words, it's like a battle royale of fates, where all the possibilities are fighting each other to come true. Kashin Koji then talks about the worst possible future, the one that's being infamously mentioned from the beginning of Two Blue Vortex. He mentions that if they won't destroy the 10 tails, it will evolve into a humanoid form known as the Shinjus, and the most strongest of them all is their leader Jura, who will be after the life of Boruto. It has been revealed that most of the outcomes in the future are same. Kawaki gets preyed upon, the divine tree gets cultivated, and the world ends. Koji even says that he doesn't understand Omnipotence as an ability, but he does understand what it has led to. Boruto also believes that Koji is not spitting some random gibberish, but he may actually be up to something. Koji then tells Boruto that he can teach him some formidable techniques by looking into the future. In other words, Boruto will learn everything from Koji in the present that he was originally supposed to learn in the faraway future. Upon hearing this, Boruto gets hyped and reinstates his will of redeeming Kawaki, as well as dealing with Code, the 10 tails, and all the threats by himself. We are then taken back to the present, where Himawari can be seen healing Sarada with her Kyuubi chakra, and to no one's surprise, Boruto gets handcuffed by Konohamaru since he's at a very vulnerable state right now. This was the best time to arrest him, and as many of you were asking why Boruto couldn't just use the Flying Thunder God to escape, well, the handcuffs are scientific tools made by Amado, which prevent the person from using any jutsu. We are then taken to the Shinju's hideout, where Hidari gets revived, and it seems like the Soul Thorn bulb works like the Karma seal to the Shinjus. After they put it inside their cube, Hidari gets revived, and it appears as if he lacks some self-consciousness. The chapter ends on an exciting cliffhanger as Matsuri puts the Soul Thorn bulb of some mysterious Shinju inside the black cube, with Jura thinking of a name for the new one, and it seems like it's the same one who can be seen in Koji's glimpse of future. He looks a lot like Shinki, but some people think he resembles Naruto more. The origins of this creature are unknown, especially because he's being made from a Soul Thorn bulb, which usually comes out of a Shinju when they die. But now it seems like there are other ways to obtain this item, and it could be the medium for the birth of a brand new 10 tails humanoid. Now that a multiverse type of twist has entered the Narutoverse, I think we have cracked the code for the Jougan's awakening and how it's supposed to debut in the manga. I have already went through the multiple timeline theory in this video, where I explain how the manga and the anime might either be walking down different paths, with Boruto having a Byakugan in the manga and the Jougan in the anime, or it could be that Kishimoto was using the anime to introduce plot points that he came up with a lot later in the manga. But to not contradict anything between both the continuations, the Jougan did not appear in the manga at times where it had shown up in the anime. For example, during the Momoshiki fight, it could be that the author figured out this plot element a lot later, that's why it was only shown in the anime version of this fight. But with the reveal of infinite possibilities in the verse of Boruto, it can be concluded that the transitioning link between the Jougan's anime and manga counterpart is the power of 10 dimensions that Koji has somehow tapped into. Did you notice how he pledged to train Boruto and the source of all the powers that he's teaching him? Well, everything that Koji is teaching Boruto was originally planned for the prodigy to learn by himself, but he just peeked into the future and taught him everything beforehand. However, the fact that Boruto was about to learn it from somewhere else can't be ignored. Who was going to teach him the Usuhiko in the future? How did he learn the Flying Thunder God in the other timeline? And are there some other cards that he has kept hidden under his sleeve? Well, the source of Boruto's powers in the original timeline are just a topic for another day, but it can't be ignored that if the prodigy is destined to learn the Jougan in any of the future timelines, then Koji could have already awakened that power in him by looking at every possible future where he can be seen with that eye. This includes the one from the flash forward where Boruto does have the Jougan, so it must have been a matter of seconds for Koji to just peek into the future and make Boruto aware of this power, similar to what Toneri did in the anime, but he did not specify the details of his prophecy. And with the reveal of the 10 dimensions, it's pretty much clear that Toneri was predicting events for his own timeline. But how come was this Moon or Suzuki able to predict the forthcoming? Could it be that he also has a power similar to the 10 dimensions of Shibai, explaining how he found the one who inherits the godly power? Either way, Kashin Koji looking through the multiple gates of fate just to teach Boruto the Jougan is a plausible possibility, but the question still remains, what's the original source of these broken techniques that Koji is teaching Boruto by studying his future self? Well, don't forget to subscribe, as I will bring full-fledged explanations on these theories. Also check out this video where I discuss the emergence of Momoshiki. I will see you next time.